the so-called religious people of that particular sect, the so-called pious people of this particular sect, they may be wearing this kind of robe or that kind of robe, maybe having this rosary or that rosary, maybe having this mark over the forehead or that mark over the forehead, this external appearance or that external appearance. Now people belonging to this particular sect will say those who have this kind of external appearance are pious people, others are not. Definition is given, a wrong definition is given. Another definition. Every sect, people belonging to that particular sect will perform this kind of rite or that kind of ritual, this religious ceremony or that religious ceremony. Every sect will have different rites, different rituals, different ceremonies. And those belonging to a particular sect will say, those who are performing these rites, these rituals, these ceremonies, oh, they are pious people. And those who do not, they are not pious, they are sinful. Another mad definition is given for sin and piety. One more definition is given, which is still more confusing. Every sect has some belief, some dogma, some philosophy. We believe in this philosophy, this dogma. Those who believe in this dogma, in this philosophy are very pious people. Those who do not believe, they are not pious people. Such kind of definitions of sin and piety harm Dhamma. Dhamma is no more Dhamma. In Dhamma, the definition is universal, not sectarian. External appearances will differ from sect to sect, from person to person. Rites, rituals, ceremonies will differ from person to person, from sect to sect. A philosophical belief may differ from person to person, from sect to sect. But the definition of Dhamma cannot differ. It is universal and it is eternal. What is sin? What is unwholesome action? Any action, physical or vocal, any action that you perform and it harms and hurts other beings, it disturbs the peace and harmony of other beings, is a sinful action, is an unwholesome action. And what is a pious action? What is a wholesome action? Every action, physical or vocal, which supports, helps other beings in living a peaceful, harmonious atmosphere, which does not disturb their peace, their harmony, which does not harm them, does not hurt them, is a pious action, wholesome action. This definition is universal. As one keeps going deeper in Dhamma, at the experiential level, it becomes so clear that this is in line with the law of nature, in line with the law of nature. The first, abstain from all sinful action, is called Sila, living the life of morality. Don't perform any action, physical or vocal, which will harm other beings. Live a moral life. Perform wholesome actions. And the most wholesome action is to be master of your mind. Never remain slave of your mind. Learn how to concentrate your mind, one-pointedness, with the base of wholesomeness, without having anything against anybody, anger or hatred or ill will. This is the most wholesome action. This becomes very clear as one starts taking steps on the path, the teaching is so universal, so universal. The first is called Sila, the second is called Samadhi, and the third purification of the mind is called Panya, that means wisdom, insight, direct experience of the truth inside, and developing the wisdom of the law, the universal law, and changing the habit pattern of the mind at the deepest level. Now the first Sila, morality. Initially one starts understanding it merely at the intellectual level. Yes, I should not perform any action at the physical level or vocal level which will harm other beings. For example, if someone comes and hits me, kills me, I certainly don't like it. I don't like it. So if I hit others or kill others, this person will not like. So I should not do anything which I don't want others to do for me. I should not kill. This will hurt others, harm others. If someone steals away, robs away certain thing which belongs to me and which is very dear to me, I don't like it. I feel hurt. Therefore, I should not steal anything belonging to somebody else. This will hurt this person. I should not do it. Someone rapes or has sexual misconduct with a member of my family, I don't like it. I get hurt. Similarly, I should not do the same thing. Others will get hurt. Someone speaks lies and tries to deceive me, I don't like it. I should not speak lie and try to deceive others. Someone speaks harsh words and I don't like. I should not speak harsh words to others. They won't like it. And then, although I understand and everyone understands that one should not do this, should not do that, but when one gets intoxicated by any drug or by liquor, one is helpless. One is slave of that particular intoxication and will perform all those actions which one does not want to perform, and yet one performs. I should not take any kind of intoxicants. This is what one understands at the surface level of the mind, at the intellectual level of the mind. Again one starts understanding, again at little deeper level, but again at the intellectual level. A human being is a social being. He has to live in the society, live with the members of the family and others. If he keeps on performing such actions which disturb the entire atmosphere around, creates disharmony everywhere, disturbs the peace everywhere, how can this person enjoy peace and harmony? If I ignite fire all around there is fire, burning fire, how can I expect the cool, the tranquility within myself? Not possible. So I must help the atmosphere to be more peaceful, more tranquil, and then only I can experience peace and tranquility living in that atmosphere. Yes, becomes clearer. But the Dhamma becomes really clear when one starts practicing it. And an enlightened person takes one to that depth where one starts experiencing the law of nature. It will become so clear at the experiential level that whenever I perform any action, physical or vocal, which has harmed other people, I cannot perform that unless I have generated tremendous amount of negativity in my mind. I can't kill somebody unless I generate anger, hatred, ill will, animosity. I cannot steal anything unless I have generated a lot of greed. I cannot commit sexual misconduct unless I have generated passion. And like this, maybe ego maybe jealousy, some impurity or the other I must develop in my mind, and then only I perform a vocal or physical action which will harm others. By experience, one who is walking on the path of Dhamma will start understanding it by experience, and will also start understanding that whenever I generate any negativity in the mind, anger, hatred, ill will, animosity, passion, fear, ego, jealousy, greed, any impurity in my mind, nature does not want it. It goes against the law of nature, and nature starts punishing me. I get the punishment here and now. After death, a punishment will come. Leave that aside. We don't say that, don't believe it, but leave it aside. You will get punishment here and now. Every individual who started walking on the path will start realizing nature has started punishing me. Because when I generate anger, I become so agitated, so unhappy, so miserable. It is impossible that I generate anger and feel very peaceful, feel full of tranquility. Impossible. I am bound to become agitated. Similarly, any defilement, I am bound to become agitated. Law of nature is such. Nature has started punishing me. And if I refrain from, abstain from these kinds of activities and don't generate these defilements in the mind, nature starts rewarding me. I feel so peaceful. It becomes so clear. This is the law of nature. Don't harm others. Don't hurt others. Don't perform any action at the physical or vocal level which will disturb others. Because you do not know, you have started harming yourself. You are the first victim of your action. You want to kill somebody, you generate anger. When you generate anger, you are being punished then and there. You are the first victim of your own anger, your own defilement. This becomes clearer and clearer to somebody who walks on the path of Dhamma. Then at a deeper level, because when I started experiencing the truth inside, the behavior pattern, the way of life starts changing automatically. Because one is not experiencing the truth inside, all the time one gives importance to things outside, outside, outside. One does not know how nature has started punishing me. One does not know how the nature has started rewarding me. One does not know at all. Now with this practice, which we will learn for these 10 days, it will become clearer and clearer. And once it becomes clearer at the experiential level, not merely at the intellectual level, not merely at the devotional level because Buddha said so, or our founder of our religion said so, or scripture says so, that doesn't work. At the experiential level, the direct experience, then it is something like you put your hand on the fire and your hand burns. Now you know, putting the hand on the fire, touching the fire, hurts me. Next time you are very careful not to put your hand on the fire. You don't like your hand to get burned, so you will keep away from this. You will start experiencing it deep within yourself that whenever you hurt others, before hurting anybody, you started hurting yourself. You started burning inside. The hellfire within you starts burning you here and now. And when you live a wholesome action, a good action, which helps others, the kingdom of heaven within, you start enjoying the peace, the tranquility of the kingdom of heaven within. The hell is within, the heaven is within. And this one starts experiencing, and this helps one to practice Dhamma properly. Abstain from all evil actions. Perform wholesome actions. The path is explained in detail, how you will walk on the path step by step. The whole path is called, in the language of those days, Aryo Athangiko Maggo. Maggo means path. Aryo, noble path. Noble path in the sense that anyone who walks on the path is bound to become a noble person. He may belong to this country or that country, this community or that community. this color or that color, this gender or that gender, makes no difference. Anyone who walks on the path is bound to become a noble person, a saintly person, a good-hearted person, a pure-hearted person. That is why it is called noble path. Eightfold noble path. Now this is divided in three divisions: Shila, Samadhi, Panya. Shila, morality. Don't perform any action at the physical or vocal level which will harm others. Three parts of the path come in this morality: Shila, Samma Vacha, Samma Kammanta, Samma Ajiva. The word Samma means right. Right. Samma Vacha. The speech must be right, wholesome. How can you know what is wholesome, what is unwholesome? If you know what is unwholesome and you abstain from it, what remains is wholesome. What is unwholesome, so far as speech is concerned, your vocal action is concerned, you abstain from speaking lies. This is unwholesome if you speak lies. You abstain from speaking harsh words which hurt others, does not help them in any way. Because if you do that, it is unwholesome. You abstain from speaking words of backbiting. Two persons are friends, and you hear something from here and then say something else to the other person, and then you hear something, you break their friendship, make them enemies. You have performed unwholesome action. Or you just talk slanderous words, unwholesome action. Useless words, wasting your time, wasting the time of others, unwholesome vocal action. Abstain from all these, and what remains is the wholesome action, Samma Vacha, wholesome vocal action. Samma Kammanta, wholesome physical action. Same yardstick. Any action which hurts and harms other beings is unwholesome. You abstain from that, and what remains is wholesome. Don't kill, don't steal, don't perform sexual misconduct, don't take any kind of intoxicants. If you abstain from that, then all your physical actions are wholesome, automatically wholesome. What remains is wholesome. Samma Ajiva, right livelihood. Unless one is a monk or a nun or a recluse or a hermit, in that case one goes out with a begging bowl and doesn't keep anything with him or her. But a householder is not supposed to go out with a begging bowl. Has to work to earn livelihood, and work hard and work honestly without harming others. Now the same yardstick, without harming others. Your profession, your dealings must be such that yes, you get your remuneration from that, but it does not harm others. If you get lot of profits in your business and that business is harming others, it is not Samma Ajiva, not Samma Ajiva. If your means of livelihood is such which encourages other people to break Shila and live an immoral life and disturb the peace and harmony of others, it is not a Samma Ajiva, not a right livelihood. For example, someone starts doing business of arms, ammunitions, guns, bullets, bombs, atom bombs, hydrogen bombs, one gets a lot of money, good profit. But anyone who buys will use it for killing others. Not a good livelihood, not a right livelihood. Someone says, I don't kill. Yes, you don't kill. But you help others to kill. You are encouraging others to kill. Not right livelihood. Someone deals in flesh or meat, fish, and say, I don't kill, somebody else has killed. You are encouraging someone else to kill. Not right livelihood. One deals in animals, grazes animal, and then gave it to the butcher. He kills, I don't kill. No, you are encouraging it. Not right livelihood. One deals in poison. Anyone who makes use of it to kill others. Not right livelihood. Like this, anything. The commodity in which you are dealing, if it encourages others to break their shila, then your livelihood is not livelihood. Even certain livelihoods which look quite wholesome, but the motivation is wrong. If the motivation is wrong, it becomes unwholesome. One incident in my life years back, when I was not in contact with pure Dhamma, I never knew how to observe things inside. And yet I used to feel myself a very Dhammic person, a very religious person, performing this rite, that ritual, this, giving this donation, that donation. I never knew pure Dhamma. It so happened, a member of the family became very ill, and it so happened that the family doctor was out of the station. I had to call some other doctor. Another doctor was very famous doctor, but very busy doctor. Whether he will agree to give a visit at home or not, let me go personally and persuade him. I went to him. Usually there's a big crowd of patients. Now I find nobody, he was just alone. Of course, I was happy that if he's alone, he will come. But out of curiosity, I asked him, how is it, doctor? Every day there is a long queue of patients in your dispensary. Today nobody is there. With a very long and sad face, he says, Goenka, this season, this part of the year, always there is some epidemic or the other. I don't know what happened this year. There is no epidemic. I felt so bad. What a noble profession, a doctor's profession, a physician's profession, to serve others, to come out of illness. And look his motivation. He wants more and more epidemic to start. Not that all doctors are like that. We shouldn't condemn every doctor. But that was the case. And I felt very bad. But at that time I never knew how to observe the reality inside. So long as one does not know how to observe the reality inside, one keeps on finding fault with others. Look, so-and-so is so bad, so-and-so is so bad, so-and-so is so bad. When I started this technique, observing the truth inside, I found out I am worse than the doctor. I come from a business community, a business family, and we know the business people, mostly, the motivation, they have got their own vocabulary. Suppose there is war or famine, consumer goods are scarce, prices start shooting up. In our language, commercial language, we say, market is improving. Wonderful. Market is improving. We get more price, more profit. Whatever stock we have got will bring more profit. Market is improving. No more famine, no more war. Lot of consumer goods, market has gone down. And with a very sad heart, we will say, oh, market is crushed. So bad. It is so bad. What attitude? What kind of motivation? We don't care whether people suffer or not, we must get our money. Oh, this one will not understand unless one starts observing the truth inside. One remains so much involved in the madness. There is nothing wrong in doing business. One has to earn money reasonably, without harming others. Provided one keeps on understanding that I am playing the role, an important role to serve the community in this particular way. One may be in any profession, but if one keeps on thinking that by this profession I am serving the society and in return I get my remuneration from the society, then serving the society becomes more important. Remuneration will certainly come, nothing wrong. A businessman buys from the manufacturer and distributes to the consumer, nothing wrong in that. Every consumer cannot run to the manufacturer